Gemini, it seems like the external influences come through here as all happy families around you. Everything is all rosy, and you're like looking to the external and you're thinking like, oh, they've got this, they've got, maybe it's what you covet or what you desire, and they have it in terms of relationships. And they seem to just be blessed with everything and super successful. As we get to your reading, you are progressing into a really like open-hearted and vulnerable sort of person, and like the way you are in a relationship seems like you're very open-hearted, and it's taking you a minute to get there though. Your energy, the Lovers card, is coming through but in reverse at this time. This might be just you as you, Gemini. This is your major arcana card with some sort of a block or a disconnect to yourself right now. Or it's possible that this is a union where there is some sort of a disconnect at this time. The King of Swords is the card that comes through in the center of the reading, and we'll look at these cards together now in just a moment. And the Emperor is here too. So there are these like there's actually another kind of court card too, the Knight of Pentacles. There could be a couple people that you're dealing with at the moment, or like sussing out, but there seems to be like two strong contenders here. I don't know if this is for your heart, Gemini, or like you're at like sort of like at opposing odds with this person in the relationship. There's like some sort of a very like headstrong dynamic from both of you coming together in like some sort of a like, could be power struggle. Ultimately, the Nine of Cups in reverse is saying to me at this time, like, you're not feeling yourself, Gemini, as much as you should be. But as the reading progresses, we're bringing on this fabulous magician energy, which is talking to me about you regaining your power, becoming more like confident, and like focusing on yourself to a bigger extent. Like with that, like even if you're in a relationship, it seems like the opportunity is coming up to sort of put yourself first and go after what it is that you want. And if this seems to be like a person, they're coming through, this potential person that this might resonate for you as the Temperance card so far. It could be a Sagittarius that you're dealing with, but we are approaching Sagittarius season now, the season related to Temperance, I guess. So that might be when something is starting to move along, or things like start to smooth out. Overall, this reading is smoothing out as things go by. And we're leaving the reading with the Queen of Cups, which is a really nice and open-hearted energy to see. Why don't we look at these cards together and pull more to clarify? There's a tone of deliverance with this reading, like a message you really need to say, something you have got to put across here, something really decisive, the King of Swords. This could be in relation to an air sign. King of Swords and the Magician could be another Gemini or an Aquarius you're dealing with. But yes, overall, it's like this feeling of dissatisfaction when the Nine of Cups reverses could be something to do with the home and living situation you find yourself in at the moment. If you work with the person you're dealing with, there's a bit of stagnant energy there, or like there's even a sense of like, you know, they try and get ahead of you or something like that. Overall, though, this Lovers situation is met with the Temperance card. So two major arcanas like this, both with angel wings, like red angel wings is the message here. So it does talk about ascension in this relationship being possible, and it seems like coming from their end, they're more than willing to smooth things out with you. The Lovers card in reverse either represents a current disconnect in an important union, or potentially one with yourself. And if it's one with yourself, it seems to be coming from like this feeling of not being good enough, and a lack of self-confidence and low self-esteem perhaps. And then if that's in relation to the relationship, maybe the person you've been dealing with isn't really careful with how they talk or communicate with you, and can be a little bit like of a, you know, like a sort of a sharp-tongued person to deal with. The Emperor card, okay, so this is talking to me about like a deep-rooted desire for you to say something at the moment, Gemini. Like you have some message to put across. It seems like it will be received well, or how you want it. The Emperor talks to me also about the deep-rooted desiring you to like exert your will at this time, and like it being important to put yourself first, I'm seeing, in a sense. The Nine of Cups one upright can be slightly selfish, but when reversed, it says that like, look, all of this energy is falling out of these cups at this time, so you're not really maybe feeling very replenished or rejuvenated yourself. And the Emperor is just saying, remember now, you need to put yourself first at this minute. And yeah, it looks like you're hoping for something to kind of get underway pretty quickly. We'll clear it all up. Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Cups. If you're dealing with an earth sign or a water sign, this looks to be like a kind of positive union for me, really. And that looks pretty nice to me so far. And if you're dealing with an earth sign, it might have been like a very slow burner here for you, and it's just like taking its time, and there's a bit of maturity and ripening that maybe still needs to happen. And then the Queen of Cups I see as you. I know you're an air sign, Gemini, maybe you have some water in your chart or otherwise. It just seems like this is you like being very receptive to love. It is also the card of self-love. If the cups are love in tarot, it looks like you need to fill some of your own up. And queens are internal manifestation of the element. So fill that up for you, I think. So the King of Swords, what is this message here? I think it's you being very decisive. You are this King of Swords in this reading. Like you're leading with your head, it seems, more than your heart right now. The Moon card. So some secrets may have been revealed to you, or something has become clear to you now, and based off what information had formerly been hidden. The King of Pentacles in reverse. And the Two of Cups here. Yeah, an earth sign or a water sign could have been like the focal point of this. Cancer, Pisces, or Taurus. And I don't know, I'm sensing that because of information that came to light, perhaps about somebody or something of a nature that was pretty unsettling for you, really. Now you're basing your decisions off what you know about what the Moon card essentially revealed. So let's see, the Nine of Cups. This has left you feeling definitely not how you should be feeling, because you should be feeling yourself right now, Gemini. The Lovers and the Nine of Cups, both in reverse, that tell me you're really close to some sort of an alignment with yourself or with another. But for me, the Nine of Cups, what is the message here? You're going to get your mojo back, Gemini. The Three of Swords in reverse. It's painful, but it's also reversed. Okay, it's telling me that you're anticipating like a little bit of just a bit of a drama with the person you're dealing with, and then potentially you can move on. But it is up to you, like, I think, to contain the drama if you want, and like having a bit of foresight, like only for yourself, to protect yourself here. I think that you are aware of like truths that needs to be delivered with the Three of Swords, and you know there is a resistance to doing it, or there had been. Something seems to need to come out before you can open your heart up again. The Lovers card in reverse. Okay, so what's coming through for this card here for you, Gemini? This row gets better, I mean, as we move into the future of the reading, kind of a thing. The Nine of Pentacles in reverse again. So you're not feeling yourself in terms of what you bring to the table, like what you're worth, essentially. You're also like doubting your accomplishments now, and even like your role that you played in this relationship. Like, did I like do enough? Like, all of these questions coming up for you, and you're really starting to second guess the role you played, I think. Okay, so let's have a look at the Emperor card. This is coming through as some sort of a subconscious at the moment. Sorry, I was watching my cat, like, I thought she saw a flippin' spirit or something. It was just her ball, but I was like, what are you looking at? The Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, there's this desire like that you've been putting your work first in a big way, and the Devil card even at the bottom of the deck. Like, some of you are exhausting yourself with work actually at the moment, and it might be to compensate from something you're unhappy with in your relationship, like taking yourself away from the relationship situation or the home situation, or like even not really texting back, or just like withdrawing. You're just like turning your focus onto something else. It looks like it's a worthy focus for you, but don't get too bogged down in what you're resorting to, because if you're just transferring all your energy there as an escape or something, like that will just begin to get, I suppose, just as draining or something like that could be the warning. Okay, so but there is a deep-rooted desire for you to work hard at the moment, Gemini, and put yourself ahead in some way. Because perhaps you're not feeling very secure in this union. And if it isn't a union with another that's very important right now, or like you just feel this is speaking to you about, it could be like this out of union with yourself. It could be because of like, you know, comparing to others or something like that, whether it's their relationship or not. So the Nine of Pentacles, I like the look of this person, however, or the energy that this Nine of Pentacles represents so far. It looks like this was more, I'm seeing this more as the past energy still, somebody that had been coming in, or just something that had been going along pretty steadily. The Nine of Swords, oh, Mars and Gemini. So I don't know, there was something on your mind about this, and you had I think you probably had it out with them, or you've at least imagined having it out with them over and over. There is something, yeah, that's been on your mind about this person. Four of Swords and the Seven of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Wondering what you're going to do about this. Thinking about a plan and devising some sort of an approach here. Your card, mutable air, the Knight of Swords, just go for it and say it. You're always, I suppose, a step ahead, Gemini. You've got it all planned and everything. So for some, this is just, for some, this isn't even a person, not necessarily. It could be an air sign or an earth sign, of course, but it's also telling me like that this very much could be just like the plan that you've been hatching at this moment, because something has been stressing you out, and like something has been agitating you enough in this relationship that it's not like a steady or peaceful like harmony between you. You need to just figure out what it is and say what's on your mind is what you're thinking. And Mars and Gemini, and then your ruler Mercury, Gemini, here we go. Like you've figured out what you're gonna do. You have you've definitely got your plan in place. The Magician knows exactly what to do. And let's see, we're gonna have a look at what the Magician has to say. Oh, hi Luna. Oh God, the Magician. I feel like Luna does this just to mess with me. So the Nine of Wands, like come on. The Nine of Wands here. So this is like you coming into your power now, and these, it's interesting, we've had the Nine of Cups in reverse, Nine of Pentacles in reverse, Nine of Swords. Once you've decided what to do and thought it through, even though it's caused you some stress, now you're like, okay, I have got this. In fact, I've been through something like this before with somebody. I feel like the sign Sagittarius is coming through strongly. It doesn't necessarily have to be the person that you're dealing with like on a romantic level, or on a level like in this sort of love and relationship situation at the moment. They could be coming through as some sort of a person that kind of offers you some sort of guidance. You're putting pressure on yourself about something, is how I'm reading the Four of Wands here, Gemini. You're putting pressure on yourself to have this sort of an image of success. Yep. Four of Cups at the bottom of the deck, but it's not believable because your heart's not in it to yourself. The Page of Cups, there's something that you do want to release within this relationship, or at least within yourself, and it is a connection to some source of joy for you. And maybe you've lost the feeling of communication in this relationship, and you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself to get this back, because maybe communication is something that's been really important for you. And at the same time, with this Page of Cups, there could be some sort of a family situation. Like I said earlier, at the bottom of the deck, it looked like all around you, it's like happy families or great situations. It could be weddings you're going to. The Temperance card. Okay, so seems to be coming in as something of a nice guidance. There's something to learn for sure about what's going on in this relationship. I think they're all up for things to be sorted out and soothed out. The King of Cups. Yeah, they probably have a deeper investment of emotions than they're at least acknowledging. You're coming through now as the Knight of Swords in reverse. I feel at this point, whatever they may have to say to you could be like, well, you should have said this before it came to this, you know, and before, like, I'm pissed now. And now look, you have this happy family situation reversed at the bottom of the deck. You're like, well, now I don't see this with you, or something like that. That's what that Lovers reversed is all about. It's like, what happened in this union? They're saying something that seems to be a little too late, even though it has, like, I think, well intentions behind it. However, the Eight of Wands. Ooh, and then we have the Queen of Cups, like looking at this King of Cups, like now maybe you're like coming back and you're like, okay, now I'm ready to hear it. That could be, do you think you're kind of indecisive about this right now, Gemini? The Eight of Wands, that's sort of what I'm picking up. So this is kind of what you're hoping for then, okay. Queen of Wands, awesome. So, I mean, you're hoping in a sense that, well, you're hoping certainly that there's no Queen of Wands in between you guys, I'm sure. And, you know, but you're hoping that this can be maybe possible, but you've got this situation on your mind about like, I don't know, is it a home? Is it children? Is it like, it's definitely passion between you guys. I do see passion between you. The Queen of Wands is perhaps like, you know, you kind of might be like, I don't know, this is how this is unfolding. You have your guard up about what they come to say to you about, because it seems a little immature and like not really advanced enough to tackle what you guys have been through or what this is all about. And then they kind of spin it around and they're able to offer something, but for you it just seems a little inauthentic still, and just maybe the timing is kind of a little old for you. And then Queen of Wands, you're kind of like, okay, I need to just get my mojo back again and then open your heart again, or something like that is coming up. Let's close it out with the Queen of Cups. I do see this as you. I think if you can combine the strength of the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Cups, like amazing energy for you right now, to just kind of come back really into your like sexiness, and like your self-worth and your own abundance and what you have to offer. And the Queen of Cups, let's have a look at her or him. It's energy of, oh yay, and we have you at the bottom of the deck now, Gemini, back upright. Let's go with it. The Seven of Pentacles in reverse. There is still a feeling then of uneasiness for you. Together, this is an uneasy energy. Knight of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Scattered mind, not feeling very grounded. The Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups, we don't have as much earth here perhaps, so grounding could be important for you at the moment. There's a lot of emotions and passions running right now. There's been a lot on your mind with regard to this relationship. I think that with some grounding and, you know, just coming back to your own body and yourself and getting your mojo back a little bit, this will just kind of help you open up and receive again when the time is right. Okay, Gemini, well, that was just a general love reading for your sign. Just take what resonates with you today and leave the rest, and please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Libra, there is a lot of very beautiful energy going on in this reading, and I cannot wait to get into these cards with you. So the first card that came through is the Lover's card. So you may be feeling that you're in a very significant union at the moment, and this could be just like really like close to yourself at this time. Hang on, I'm gonna fix this camera. Really nice, strong union coming through right away in this reading. And like you're feeling very proud of the work that you're putting into this relationship. It's not all fluff and like, you know, idealized or anything like that. You put work and effort into this relationship, and it's very tangible and real for you. There is an energy of expansion dominating the conscious part of this reading, and this expansion has come from where the subconscious area is, some hermit style planning, reflection, deep reflection about this relationship, deep planning around this relationship. And now after all the planning, it's ready. Time to grow, time to start moving on. Coming through at the bottom of the deck, it seems like some sort of a debt that hasn't been settled romantically or like within a relationship. Doesn't necessarily have to be your relationship, Libra, because I am seeing this as a kind of energy of perhaps an external. So maybe you're becoming aware of somebody's relationship that seems a little karmic, or that you feel like through a current or recent relationship you've settled some sort of a karmic debt or something like that. But you've been feeling yourself, feeling really good actually, and all this reflection, Nine of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, the Hermit number 9, all gearing up now to end some sort of we're reaching crescendo basically to some culmination point for you. And this is invoking some fear for sure. There are some worst case scenarios currently playing out in your head, and we'll have a look at that. But from what I can see is this relationship seems really illuminating, really healing, really authentic, very much in alignment. This Sun card is coming through as your person. You might be dealing with a Leo, not necessarily, but it could be, and it's just, or somebody that brings out an authenticity in you. The Eight of Swords, yes. So before we get back to this union here, this is the outcome, and we'll look at these cards together now in just a moment and pull some more. So if the union is the Two of Cups, yeah, and the Lovers card here, this isn't just sort of a surface level connection or anything like that. It doesn't seem that it's like super casual. But there is, before we get back to that union, there seems to be some period of stress and like doubt about this, doubt about yourself, perhaps about the this whole relationship it could be. Why don't we look at these cards together and figure it out? I feel like the energy of these cards are speaking for themselves, like in a visual way. The Lovers, you doubt in the near future the validity of this, what appears to be deep union, if not soulmate connection. And the work that you've been doing on this is so tangible. This relationship is thriving as a result of like hard work that you've been doing, Libra. The Star card, this is healing work. This is healing yourself through a relationship, which, like, don't get me wrong, Libra, you do not underestimate the importance of relationships, right? The sign of relationships. But from a spiritual perspective, like the Star, we're actually really here on an individual journey, right? So the relationships that we form along the way, the Lovers and the things like this is just an aid for our soul's growth on an individual level, right? And it is a reflection also. Oh, hello, Luna. And the Three of Wands and the Sun card. Wow, this talks about a really vibrant trip, a really vibrant expansion, authenticity. It's beautiful. The relationship coming alive for me very much. And like your person is aware of this. You're aware of it. The limitlessness of this relationship, the possibilities. And then the Hermit card, where your worries creep to worst case scenario from the Eight of Swords. Or like, these are like the doubts that you're like, oh God, is this legit? Like, is this as good as it feels? Or should I doubt this? Or is this going to work? These are the fears here of the Eight of Swords. When they manifest, we're actually like, the fight that we had with this person in our imagination actually happens, because it has to manifest somehow. And all of our worst case scenarios are something that we've been thinking a lot about. The Hermit suggests like some real sense of reflection on this. The reflection has led to, for sure, some darker thoughts. That's okay. Our thoughts can be dark. That's completely fine, you know. The Nine of Cups and the Two of Cups. It doesn't take you long to basically hear from this person, get in touch with this person, or just bring yourself around to a memory or a thought of that person, like tapping into what you believe in, or like tapping into what you feel is like something of unconditional love. For example, I often think of a pet this way. And just even tapping into that feeling of love brings you right back to where you need to be, out of the brain, back into your heart center. And just even hearing from them, you're like, oh, all is well. Oh, what was I tripping for? Let's have a look at what's coming through then, Libra. We'll shuffle these up. So the Lovers card, tell me about this union. You know the one I'm talking about, right? The Lovers, the Lovers. Luna's intrigued. The Tower. This has been a very perhaps for some like an earth-shattering romance. Like, this has been something that has rocked you guys potentially before, rocked your world, but there has been perhaps recent instability that, you know, you saw this coming. The Tower reversed. It didn't just take you off guard. Like, you're like, whoa, no, you were like, oh, I fucking knew this was going to happen. But it has rocked your foundations with this person. It's rocked. No wonder the Eight of Swords are creeping in, because something has changed in the sense of stability and the foundations of this relationship. It's been burdensome, actually. The Ten of Wands was there reversed at the bottom of the deck. This has been a burden for sure. That it's been an ongoing burden, right? Like the Ten of Wands are building, reversed. It's almost like to collapse. Okay. Nine of Pentacles. This is aiding you through this. Like, this foundations has been rocked somewhat on the stability, but the Nine of Pentacles shows me like the work that's gone into it. I think Seamus Heaney had a lovely poem called like Foundations or something like that, or Foundation. It was all about that. It was lovely. Eight of Cups in reverse. This is the energy of giving something another chance, or coming back around to the possibility of, you perhaps even emotionally let something go and find yourself coming back to it. Right now you might be like giving something a serious consideration because you haven't learned something from this relationship yet. The Hanged One in reverse. This is the reflection, or this, when we walked away or when something changed for us, we had a period there to think about, okay, well, is this right for us then? Or is this right for me? Like, okay, there's a reason that this test has been put here in front of me. Did I learn what I was supposed to? Hanged One in reverse, not necessarily. And now the Eight of Cups is the kind of, well, let's go back around and revisit this. Let's see. Some of you have the desire to get back in touch with somebody or reach out to somebody as a result of all this wonderful work you've been doing on yourself, the Star card and the Nine of Pentacles here. And you're like, you know what, I feel ready now to even just have this conversation, or perhaps like, you know, give things a chance with you again. The Three of Wands here. This is a really positive card in the crowning position of this reading, like right here in the center on top, like, what's good? Okay, Page of Pentacles in reverse. There is a lot of high hopes for this union here, but I do get the sense that communication is in some way impaired for you guys right now, or that like that lull in conversation, or like communication rather. Oh, let me leave that guy out. Is all about perhaps like what's feeding into this doubt, because I'm like, why is there a doubt coming up here? It's starting to make some sense. So there is a sense of idealization here on the surface then. And then when you go a little deeper, there are cracks that show, but it's all in the name of like still a very dominant healing energy here. So let's see, the Hermit. This is in a more subconscious. What have you been deeply considering right now in relation to this relationship, Libra? Something that's been on your mind. It's like it's really consumed you for the most part. Wow. The Three of Swords in reverse and that Hanged One in reverse at the bottom of the deck again. So the Three of Swords in reverse, you've been really you've been giving a lot of thought to how this has weighed on you. Like this has hurt you, and the parts of this relationship have been pretty difficult for you. You've had to face a lot of unpleasant realities about this relationship, and you've done that. Like, you know, kudos to you. You have gone, and at the Ten of Swords, I do believe that it was necessary for you to really like ask those uncomfortable questions, like, is this person right for me? Like, is what we're doing right? Like, is this an alignment? Like, is there somebody better for them, better for me? All of these really like fearful questions of the Ten of Swords that can come from like a kind of inward reflection of the Hermit. Eight of Cups is a very like soulful emotional transformation in nature too. So you might have been engaging in like Scorpio season, darker night of the soul territory, where you're asking yourself some very uncomfortable questions that need to be asked. The Nine of Cups. Okay, but overall, I see this as a recent energy of you being very satisfied, perhaps even smug now that I'm seeing the reading unfold. Let's look at the Nine of Cups. The Ten of Cups in reverse. That's when things aren't really what they say, like they're all cracked up to be. It is a little surface level and like image attached to this relationship I'm seeing, and it having to appear like to be really like very like idealistic, I suppose, the Ten of Cups. So the Eight of Swords, you get into you kind of sink into a little bit of self-limiting belief here about, and like maybe like believing that it's your role in the relationship, or like limiting beliefs around yourself, when I can see from some of these cards that you've been doing a lot of work. Wonderful. The Hanged One is upright now, and the Four of Swords, which is a Libran card here. So with the Four of Swords, okay, you do have some things to consider, but you don't need to be getting so all up in your head about it, I suppose. The message of the Four of Swords is here, actually a lesson has been learned, and you're like, the Hanged One has finally reversed, and it's like, oh, okay, I get, like, Libra gets it now. They understand what this test was for. They understand the emotions and the depth involved in this. They understand why perhaps they're, you know, maybe being a little bit toxic and not texting back and like pulling away or playing some sort of a game like that. Because it's a high standard that you've set for this relationship for sure. And you've had to face some truths. But once you face the truths, this takes a lot of mental pressure off, right? It's like, it's cathartic in a sense. And the Hanged One was like, yep, you got it. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, so let's have a look at the star card. It's pretty dark in here at this point. Let me just... This star card, this is offering some sort of an opportunity now for healing. This relationship and what's happened here after the chaos of the star does fall naturally in the tower, the kind of healing energy that comes through of the star card. So let's see, how are we healing from this? Strength card, beautiful. So this is a trial and a test to overcome. Thankfully, we should be grateful for the tests of, for one, of our ego, testing like how much our ego is involved in this relationship. I have this Leo energy here. Testing as well, I suppose, like how much of it is idealized, or like also testing the foundations of important things like communication within the relationship and being realistic. And you've like really becoming into an energy now, like once you face the difficult truths, like the veil is lifted and you're like, I can breathe again and my mind has space again, and I have control of my thoughts. I'm like emotionally regulating myself. And the strength card was like, you, like it was just a real test for you to overcome this, but it's so worthwhile because you're able to, you know what, sometimes it might have been just the gravity of this connection. Like truly, this is a very intense connection, okay? And intense can be good or like perceived as positive or negative. It really depends. But regardless, when something feels extremely intense one way or another, like that takes a lot of our energy, okay? So like you can feel shook by certain relationships. The sun card, like the whole gravity of them, and you're like, whoa, okay, that was a trip. Now I'm back to my body and I've got control of things again, my emotions, my thoughts. The sun card, your person seems very optimistic for this relationship. Let's have a glimpse further into that energy of the sun. The Five of Swords. Okay. The High Priestess is at the bottom of the deck. Oh, wow, with the Nine of Wands, and in reverse, the Priestess. There's a very strong sense of suspicion here. I'm seeing a completely different side now with these cards. The Sun card is similar now to me. That's the Ten of Cups. So there's a sense of like suspicion between you guys, one or the other. It doesn't even look like it's based in anything. It looks highly paranoid when the High Priestess in reverse is not really in tune with the intuition. So I read this more as paranoia than some righteous suspicion, but that's the energy around your person. Is that coming from you or them? But a sense that there may be a game being played. The Sun card, perhaps that's some clarity they've been feeling. Perhaps this is another test, Libra, to test something within your relationship. Hey, the Ten of Swords. Okay, so let's see what's coming through around the Ten of Swords. This was just the like sum of all fears for you, essentially. Did it maybe even never got to that? Hopefully not. But it was this in your mind, sum of all fears. Oh my goodness, the Knight of Swords. There's an unsettling energy that you're afraid of happening again, this unsettling nature of the swiftness that can come in like this of the Tower, and then the swiftness of the Knight of Swords, just having to do something before you feel like physically ready to or emotionally ready to, and you're just like, I can't take that again. And that might be a truth that you're facing, like, I can't take that swiftness anymore. I need a little bit of consistency. The Two of Cups, okay, but you're coming back to some sort of a loving union here. It's been a trip. It's been a trip. Judgment. Woohoo! Yes, it has. Okay, but that's powerful. And then the King of Cups, actually, and the Ace of Pentacles. I love this energy to end the reading on. And the Judgment card. Wow, you'll have to take stock of what this whirlwind was, essentially, Libra. And it's very much destined for you in some way in this time to be facing that Karma card I talked about at the start. It was like you're aware of the energy of some sort of karmic settling in a relationship. It's looking more likely to me now that might even be something within yours. And, Judgment is the Plutonian energy of pure transformation and survival. Mars, the Tower, another important and powerful agent for change, because it can be just forceful with it, circumstantial with it, external with the change. Judgment can seem internal at times, but nonetheless, very intense. This is an intense relationship. Whew, I feel it. This is just going to be obviously a general message that may not apply to everybody, but perhaps somebody got something from that. And if you did, consider subscribing. Thanks, Libra. See you soon. Aquarius, your love and relationship. So this situation was done for you. Dead in the water, right? You still are thinking this is done. Like, how can this go anywhere? But they came back to you with something. Oh, they came back around with something. An Ace of Cups, an offering for love or commitment. Want to turn your back on this now. Leave it where it is. The Seven of Swords in reverse, like you kind of see this as like somebody even like stalling, like what's taking them so long to like get their shit together and come forward and like say what they need to say and put up this fight for me. What's taking them so long? Let's look at these cards together. Okay, Aquarius, as you can see, this reading very much starts with the tone of no way, I'm not interested, the damage has been done, this has been too deep, too raw, the cuts have really hurt me. And like you're very much in what I can see consciously, like, no, this is done. Yeah, they come back and they have something they want to clear up with you, very much so. And does this offer you some sense of closure or like a sense of reconciliation, or like at least I'm able to move on? Potentially, yes. You are like, okay, I may hear what you have to say. How it ends though is like a fresh start offering of communication. So maybe you've already noticed this, like they've come back and they've said to you, like, there's something I need to get off my chest, or I need to clear this up for you. I don't want you thinking this, blah, 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 blah. And look, there has been this sort of nature of communication that has been coming up rather. So I think from this getting on the same page again, whatever this means, but coming together again, it does offer you some sort of a like, okay, I can slightly move on from this. Yeah, there might be a bit of drama involved, but to me, the Five of Wands looks better than the Ten of Swords, that you find yourself kind of like despairing at this time. The Sun card, sure, they have something they need to clear up. So let's do this. Six of Swords and this came out now, the Three of Cups. That might be like the unpleasantness around this situation. And now this isn't a message for all. It fell out for somebody. There was a third party person here involved, maybe even more than one person that should not have had their opinion, their body, their business in this relationship. Six of Swords. Okay, so here you are, Aquarius, moving on. Moving on from a very strong sense of loss. Oh, do you hear that rain falling now? Oh my God, it's hail. Holy shit, it's hail. All right, phew. Let's go, hail we go. The Queen of Swords, this hail energy, this icy rain is falling right now, and this is an air sign queen coming through. Oh wow, we just had some lightning there. Guys, this weather is crazy right now. 8 and 9 of Swords and the 10 of Swords. Ooh, the thunder comes. Okay, so we're getting all atmospheric. We're getting all into our pathetic fallacy zone here. And this has been a very turbulent time mentally, very disturbing, comes out of nowhere sometimes. It can be not what you were expecting. I was not expecting this. I wasn't expecting how cold it would get today. It was beautiful earlier. You weren't expecting how cold this could get. You feel like you have to be cold here, Aquarius. You feel like you have to be decisive, and this Queen of Boundaries here as the Queen of Swords, like you're like, no, this is not acceptable anymore, and I have to place a really strong, and sometimes maybe you see it as, am I being cold? But it's a boundary that needs to be there. Wow. So we've had all sorts of extreme weather. There's some rain here now just after like some hail and a thunder and lightning bout. So things have been extreme and not exactly easy for you, I can see. Oh, this relationship hasn't been so easy. The Five of Cups. You can see a lot of the losses here at this time, and it's mainly what's dominating your thoughts, and it's on your mind. You can't get a lot of these worries away from you right now. The Moon card in reverse and the Two of Swords in reverse. Two lunar energies coming through here, both in reverse, both blocking an intuitive message coming through, and also like secrets being revealed. The Two of Swords, we're keeping everything stum, and the Moon card, things are not yet fully revealed to us. But when these cards reverses, damn, you better believe the elephant is out in the room at this point and making itself known. So things have come up for you, and now you can't get them off your mind. The Ten of Swords. So this is done to you, right? This is how you see it, like there's no going back. That rain, that is heavy out there. I was just about to walk to get lunch. The Star card in reverse, your energy, Aquarius. The Star is your major arcana, but your energy is blocked right now. Of course. You're going through some mental turmoil at the moment around your relationship. And it's can be kind of dark. You're feeling in the dark about this, about what to do, about where you'll go next. The Star card is coming through and promising the light will break again, just like it is here, but beyond these swords, or behind them rather. The Star card in reverse is just saying you have the tools to heal. You've already done this before. You've been through something that didn't turn out how you wanted it to, a wish unfulfilled. You've healed before. The Eight of Cups is coming through now as like what they did or what you said or what had happened that gave things the spark of hope in the Star card, like not the full bout of it. You needed more hope, but you gave you a little bit of hope here. Some conversation or something that was revisited, and it was like, okay, our emotions are still involved. The Six of Pentacles, but is it enough? Like, are you even in the right place? You might have been saying to them, were they saying to you, like, have you got control of things at the moment, or are things just like falling out around you? The Ace of Cups. So you weren't hearing or you didn't receive like enough of a validation from this person. So they came back with even more of a heartfelt approach. Like really, I do see them opening up to you recently. And it's still niggling at you like, okay, so there is this possibility. The Tower, it took you off guard when they came back and said like, I do have something I want to say to you, Aquarius. I'm sorry I haven't said it before, but this is how it is. Or something of that nature. And you're like, oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting to hear that from them. The Two of Cups. So it isn't over yet, and like I sense that there's something they still want to communicate to you or get you on board with here. The Two of Cups. The Four of Cups. They sense very much that you're not interested, but they do have this sense of purpose that it's what needs to be done, and they need to like right some wrongs. Oh yeah, maybe the wrongs that looked like these Three of Cups in reverse or Page of Wands in reverse. A person that shouldn't have been there, or people that shouldn't have been there. It could have even just been like an emotional, I'm seeing like emotional affair or like texts or something that were uncovered. The Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so they're like, still don't seem super interested in what they have to say. You kind of want to put your best foot forward and continue to move on. Mentally, you've been moving on. You put your boundary there, and now you're like, no, I'm getting my life back. 10 of Cups. You still have really strong aspirations and goals for love and for happiness, for joy and dating in your life still, and that's not going away. So I think with this moving on, you're moving closer towards maybe a more emotional goal that you have for yourself. The Five of Wands. Okay, they have a fight in them. They have a sense of this fight and urgency for you in them. The King of Cups, their emotions are running deep. They do have strong feelings for you and want to fight for you. I'm sure you probably know this. The Son of Cups, or the Son of Cups. The Sun card. You want some exposure. You want something to be understood. You want the clarity and the freedom that's kind of potentially offered here for you. Let's see, the Sun card for Aquarius. Yeah, that just clarity is all you're looking for. The razor sharp clarity and insight that comes with the sun's rays, the light being shone down on everything that's been revealed and what's come with it, your insight, and now you know. And now you can move forward and push forward. Interesting, the Ace of Wands is at the bottom of the deck, but this one is reversed. It can be talking about a warning of you getting caught back up in like a passionate moment with this person where you're like, you know, your rationale kind of just flies out the window in a moment of passion, especially when they come to you with these things they need to talk about. Talk. The Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles. Let's have a look now. This does suggest some sort of a new beginning or some sort of a conversation that could happen. I think you'll be open ultimately to what they have to say in the end. Whether or not, whatever you choose to do with that, Aquarius, it seems at the moment that you're happy to keep an open mind to it, and because at least it will give you some clarity and like you then decide what to do with your emotions based on what you know, okay? It does look like it becomes insightful. I have the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups looking together with an idea shared or some sort of a breakthrough shared between them. I think that's a good thing, and I think it's probably pretty necessary. This is a general reading, Aquarius. Take what resonates for you today in regarding love or relationship and leave the rest. I will see you soon.